Alright guys, part 3 of my VHS collection. Did part 1 with the clamshells and part 2 the left side, and now part 3 the final side. All my music videos, all my Nickelodeon videos, all my Warner Brothers tapes, and my whole stack of 20th Century Fox movies. And so, this is what we got here. Let's begin. Obviously, this is a recent pickup for me in my collection. This is the first 3 Star Wars movies. There's the Star Wars trilogy. And a cool special feature that's included on these, obviously now they're out of order because I watched one of them. I watched the first one on Christmas Day. Or no, that was on Christmas Eve when I watched the first one. But a cool special feature you get on these tapes is you get an exclusive interview with George Lucas. It's a 3-part interview. Part 1 is on A New Hope, and then the other 2 parts are on the other 2 movies. But you get an exclusive interview with George Lucas and how he created the films, what he's learned from making the films, and his overall experience working on Star Wars and creating a phenomenon. So, again, the 3 Star Wars movies. This collection was released in 1995, one of the last Star Wars VHS collections released from 20th Century Fox and Lucasfilm. Next we have a series of X-Files tapes. So first we have The X-Files, the movie, released in 1998. This is the widescreen edition with THX digital mastering. I did a review on not Star Wars, The X-Files, the movie. I did a review on this one. Again, this is a special edition one. They released a normal VHS of this film, but I just happened to pick up the widescreen edition. Great X-Files movie. It's basically an X-Files episode extended another hour. But it's not just that, you know, there's great storytelling, great drama, great suspense in this movie. Speaking of great drama and great suspense, the next 3 tapes are also X-Files, and they have a series of episodes on them. So in 1996, Fox released kind of like an X-Files collection on VHS tapes. So these tapes featured different episodes from the series, typically from the 1st and 2nd season, because 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th seasons, because that's what they were in at the time. So this one was released in 96. It features Sleepless and Duane Barry from season 2. So you have those 2 episodes on here, as well as an exclusive interview with the creator, Chris Carter. Guys, when I tried to upload the VHS openings on these tapes, Fox blocked it, so can't do that again. Another cool thing, I don't really think it's in this tape, but I think it's in the other 2 tapes. Another cool thing that came with these tapes was the exclusive collector's cards. And so Fox would give you some collector's cards. They would slip in this tape. Here we go. Here's one of them. Alright, this may be for the Fox Studio store. But here's one of the original envelopes that gave you all sorts of cool goodies. And I think this one still has the collector's cards. Yeah, this talks about some X-Files gear, stuff about the Fox Studio store. And here we go. Here's the original collector's cards that came with the tapes, with the certain episodes. So let me slip that back in there. And so that's cool. It came with the original envelope with all that cool stuff in it. I'll put that back in there later. Here's the second tape I have. This includes Fallen Angel and Eve, I believe, from the 1st and or 2nd season of the X-Files. Come on. Alright, here we go. I'll put the envelope back in there later. So that's my second X-Files tape. My third one, as far as episodes from the show, is one that's actually in the original packaging. Features 2 uncut episodes. We have the pilot for the show and Deep Throat. I believe those are the first 2 episodes. I know Deep Throat is one of the first episodes. And then we have the pilot for the show. Again, all of these tapes even including the widescreen edition of the movie, has the bonus feature of having an interview with the creator and offers some behind the scenes footage of the show, as well as interviews with the actors and how Chris Carter made the episodes and things like that. So that's a pretty cool feature that you get with those original tapes of the show. The next film I have here from Fox, if I can get it out, is another one of my Christmas movies. It's Home Alone 1, released by John Hughes in 1990. Obviously, a great movie. Yeah, I mean, you gotta have Home Alone in your collection, man. I just watched the second one recently, and it really just copies the first. Literally, this is the real deal right here, guys. This is the best right here, what you're getting. But it's a great movie. Obviously, it's a legendary movie. I didn't watch it this year because I wanted to try a different one, so that's why I watched Home Alone 2. But now I know just to go back to Home Alone, because Home Alone 2 is basically the same thing as Home Alone, just in another city. The next Fox film I have is Roll Bounce, with Bow Wow and Nick Cannon. This film is a great movie, again, from my childhood, and was in the latter part of the VHS decade for society. This was released in 2005, so yeah, almost when VHSs were kind of going out of style. I think we had a year or 2 to go. But yeah, this is I would say one of the last VHS tapes from Fox. By the way, I reviewed X-Files, the movie, but I think I reviewed maybe 1 or 2 of these tapes. I think I reviewed all of these tapes, and I don't think I reviewed Home Alone. And I know I didn't review Roll Bounce. But this is a great video, great movie. Again, from my childhood, I loved this film as a kid because I loved skating. And so, obviously, this is a great movie. Next, I got another Nick Cannon film. If you said Drumline, you guessed it. It is Drumline. This is a film, again, this is another film that I've had since my childhood. And it is in pristine condition. Goodness gracious. I'm not kidding you guys. I had this tape since I was a kid. One of my favorite movies, one of my first favorite films was Drumline. You ask me any line from this movie, I could probably recite it. Well, I used to can recite it. I can't really recite it now. Every time this is on, it's like, oh yes, I remember this film thoroughly. It was my childhood. Again, it was kind of hard for me to understand at the time when I first saw it, but every time I watch it, you know, later in my life, and as I continue to watch it, you know, you learn something new. It's like, you didn't know what they were talking about when you were like 3, but now it makes more sense, and it continues to make sense every time I watch it. So, great film, musical film. Obviously, some of my favorite movies either involved music or kids. It's just like Daddy Daycare. But later, my favorite movies started to become, you know, good old action movies from the 90s, including this one, Independence Day, starring Will Smith himself, released in 1996. Great movie, and this one actually comes with a goodie, if I can get it out of here. So there's the original tape, and is that card in here? Oh yes it is. So the cool thing that came with this movie is this reflective card, holographic card there, and on the back of it, the producers of the movie kind of give a brief description of it and how they never thought it would become successful. Basically, that's what that's saying. Well, that's pretty cool. That came with the tape. So